Simul stream, weekly simul stream here on lichess and Twitch. I'm your host, International Master William Pascal, and it's my pleasure to bring you to our simul stream today. So seriously, welcome, Mr. Coffee. Good to see you. One of our rarely seen good friends. I know you've been busy lately. It's good to have you back. JCS has been on once in a while. So we have a moderator in and out. We've got Asterbait, someone on sound. Both of you guys, super supporters. You should both be VIPs, in my book. Maybe someone on sound will achieve VIP status soon. What are we going to do? We're going to play a simul. Alright. Here we go. So host a new simul. I am Sparkle. Speaking of Sparkle Simul, speaking of VIPs, I think we should make Morales a VIP for getting to 300 games. That might happen this week, maybe tomorrow. If he plays tonight and tomorrow, he would have 300 games. Which I think is cool. Mubad is calling my eBay. I don't think there's anything on sale on eBay anymore. That's funny that you did that, Mr. Someone on Sound. So eBay is not the eBay store is not really open right now. Maybe in the future when I get back to the US of A, we will see. We'll keep the eBay account active just in case. Never know what the future holds. I have a lot of stuff in my storage unit. May need to get rid of some of it again. All right. But it's funny. What made you think to do the eBay command? Anyway, guys, we're hosting a new simul here. 25 board simul, 20 minutes plus 40 seconds, extra time, random colors for fun. This is the simul description. I am William Pascal, weekly classical simul. Please support my efforts as I stream on Twitch and post on YouTube. There are the links to Twitch and YouTube. We've got simul rules. Take your time. Don't play bullet chess. Do not join unless you can stay. Play up to 3 hours. This is a long game. Here's a new one. Please resign in totally hopeless positions. The problem with that is the hopeless positions. You have to define what is a hopeless position to people. Donations are encouraged via Twitch or PayPal. Is there a Bob command? I hope not. Please subscribe to my channel and subscribe on YouTube. That's kind of redundant. Thanks everyone for playing. For your kindness and consideration. Alright. What didn't work, Mad Remus? Oh, you misspelled it, probably. I think you misspelled it, just like I misspelled Mad Remus. I'm going to host new simul here. Guys, thanks for those of you who did participate in our streamer battle. In the streamer battle, we finished 5th out of 5, very narrowly. Technically 6th, but the 16 wasn't really there. So that was a disappointment. We needed another, title player to really push us over the top to 4th or 3rd place. Just didn't happen. Still was a good effort. Jim, good to see you. So guys, we're going to start taking players here. I read the rules already. Got Amoeboid, Nudge Papa. Oh, wrong player, sorry, I'm going to kick you out again. It's so annoying. Okay, Asterbait. Nudge Papa, I guess, is a subscriber. He usually is. Someone on sound. You're going to play in a Tranquilizer team? Yeah, they need more players, clearly. Yeah, absolutely, DK guy. Maybe you can alienate one of our other players as well before we start the next battle. We'll have Bob on for a few streams too. Between me and Bob and you, we should be able to alienate like maybe at least 3 players from the stream by next week. Alright. We got 12 viewers. Agnes Kardewski, thanks for the 100-bit donation. Getting on the board there. Mr. Slowhand donated 2 gift subs this week. Move 11, 2 Fortuna Chess. Check him out. Fortuna Chess also streams. So, I don't take specifically only subscribers to the Twitch stream, but mostly subscribers play, and then a handful of friends and others. Actually, that's great, man. If Bob left for a Tranquilizer stream, that's like the best thing that could have ever happened to us. He'll start alienating people on some other streamer stream. That was part of my plan, basically. Just like sell him off on someone else. Shout out failed. I don't think that maybe Fortuna Chess doesn't have a shout out set up yet. Agnes Karadzuski's just gifted tier 1 to the community. And Rural Mick. We'll call him Rural Mick. Maybe that works better. Rural Mick. Rural Mick. It's Hungarian. No, Rural Mick. You found the shout out. You forgot the coach. Fortuna Chess coach. No, we're good. I thought I had a sore throat last week, but it wasn't. I think I just strained the muscle in my neck doing sit-ups, toning the body. All right, so we've got other players. Rural Mick, if you're out there, let me know if you want to play in the Simul and you have an account. Let's check the chat room. Checking the chat room. Someone on sound posted the link. All right. The link to the YouTube channel is in the Simul description. Someone was asking about that. Did the stream drop? It does that a lot. I don't think it's me. I think it's it's Twitch. Probably. We got a follow. Noi Tanaisa just followed. Last week, never seen Deka Guy doing 26 points for us. Damn. I don't think I really said that. Did I say that? You got 29. Alright. Alright, whatever. Yeah, you need to make a clip. So, you made... Alright, what do we got? Nils will pay you for all your points. Anyway, I want to thank Nils for the sponsorship challenge. I only scored 25 from that game challenge against Jim. Can you do 39? My birthday's soon, but we won't be streaming that day. Hey, well, I'm looking to change from scanning to E4. Sorry, I'm looking to change the scanning. Don't do that. From the Scandi versus E4. Alright. No one else goes into the cool whatever that is. The Knight of Sicilian is very theoretical. You've got to be prepared to do a lot of work. Not my first choice, man. Alright, Jim. Legion. Mertesacker. Mr. Slow's here. Mertesacker, I don't know. Is Mr. Mertesacker a subscriber? Not clear. Thai Move, I haven't seen in ages. Cheesy Noob. Chef Master. I'm trying to pick out people who are subscribers. Catman played for our team. So if you're a friend of the stream or you're a subscriber, I'll accept you and we'll take some others. Peoples who ask politely to play. See, nobody says please. Didn't your mommy teach you to say please? Susada, you're a subscriber, but are you challenging me? You're in there, alright. Normally I wouldn't accept you, Sada, because you don't have enough games. We'll give him a break. Alright, I don't normally accept players with less than 100 games. They have a tendency to A, drop out of the Simul, or B, use assistance. I like to see 100 games to be sure people are legit. Since you're a subscriber, I'll make an exception. I'm Alright, so we got this guy who I'm playing a correspondence game with. Thought he was familiar. No one. Where's Morales? Are you in there? What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I know I'm on the left side of this camera. I need to kind of reconfigure this. I feel like I'm always too far on the left side of the screen, but whatever. I should really get a new screen overlay. Bob will probably come back to the stream if I do that. Maybe that's a bad idea. It's kind of good to have Bob moved on. Chess Smurf, what's up? Alright, you're among the chosen few. Morales, are you in the list? There he is. Playing for game 299. Guys, Morales is going to be possibly tomorrow becoming the first player ever to play 300 games against me here. Ayesta. Being the first player to 300 guarantees you automatic VIP status. It really wasn't clear who was going to achieve it. We had to alienate a few others. Just kidding. Alright. We don't alienate people who don't deserve it. No, there's no team command. Alright, Eucalyptus. Man, that guy, we gotta block him. Why is he doing that? Why is there like a 6-year-old pressing the N key in my chat room? Why would you do that? Could I participate in the Simul? Isipus. Because you don't have 100 games. I mean, you are sort of asking politely. Isipus. But you're not even in a list of challengers. The last 1, 2, 3. I hope you accept me. That's almost polite. It's so hard for people to say, like, please. There's Isipus. He doesn't have near 200 games. You better swear up and down you'll not drop out. I love Swedish grills. Alright, you swear you won't drop out. Would I be able to participate, please? Agath. How many players do we have? 17. There's room if someone else wants to play. Ruslan Bear? Riziko. Ruslan plays Bullet every time. Tired of playing Bullet against him. Sumaher. The name is Agent Mouse. Who is I Live Swedish Grills? Is that your name? Consistently? Agent Mouse barely qualifies. Intelligent Lying we played, I think we played before. They're not gonna play again for some reason. Alright, let's see. The hunt begins. A good chess player. Done. No more strong players. I feel like we're missing some of the regulars today. Maybe not. Who's missing? There's a lot of non-subscribers in the chat, which is, I guess, good. Will you guys please follow and subscribe if you can? Would appreciate some new subscribers, guys. DK guy, really? Mr. Coffee's out? He's leaving, you mean? 20 players. Pretty please, Zinkelberger. Damn. Another strong player. Alright, that's it for the strong players. No more strong players. We got to get some lower rated guys. Come on. There's like 2,000, 2,000. There's an 1,100 Catman at least, but most of the players are stronger. Not too many over 2,000 actually. Those last couple. So we got time to start. It's time to start, guys. We need 5 more players. Mr. Coffee's in. If you have Amazon Prime, you'll get 1 free Twitch subscription. Man. I'm appointing someone on sound as our stream producer. Alright. Leo played before. He's like too fast. Drives me crazy. Who else? I hate when people play bullet, so please, these are the rules. Take your time, don't play bullet chess. Don't join unless you can save 3 hours. Please resign in hopeless positions. Follow those rules and we'll all get along. Schreiber-Spieler? Schreiber-Spieler? Really? Asterbate? What is a Schreiber? Alright. I'm ready to start, guys, so I need 4 players. Just a small town girl. My schedule's clear all day, so I can stay as long as needed. Okay, you're in already. Tal from Punjab. You won't drop out. Alright. That's good. I was asked for someone low rated. Any other subscribers? This their last. This their last? This is the last. He can't even spell his own name right. Damn, dude. You spelled your own name wrong. You're gonna miss your own funeral. Alright, we've got players who are all promised to stay. No one's gonna drop out. Legion's in. Mr. Soyan just donated 700. He needs Zen. What'd you do? 10 emotes shared for the 700. Mr. Slow's donation triggered a 10 emote shared. Alright. We'll do a Zen mode for the beginning. I'm last call for 2 players. Any other subscribers? No one I recognize. So, I might pick someone at random. Magnus Carlsen, definitely not allowed to play. Shush, shush, start now. Vidit, did you subscribe on YouTube? Dragonfruit said please. Is Dragonfruit out there? He's not even in the list. He's not even in the list. He said please. Only polite player is not in the list. And Vidit's gone too. That's weird. Alright, well, who am I gonna take, guys? It's taking too long. Untapped potential. Looks like a legitimate account. Last call. None of those guys I mentioned are in the list, so we're gonna pick someone at random. Remember Quam? This is no qualms. Pawns to queen. Nicholas played once before. I used to be able to see people's games. He probably dropped out or something. Thanks, Mr. So, for a donation. We're about to start. Kaiso reformed. Leo says take me. Alright, we'll take Leo. Leo, you better not play bullet chess. Number 4 in the list? Who's number 4 in the list? Who's number 4 in the list? Intelligent Lion? Who are you talking about? Chessmurph, why are you saying number 4 in the list? You're faker reformed. Whatever you say. Alright, Faker reformed. He was not number 4 in the list. Now he is. That's it, man. 26. I had 25. Did someone get knocked out? Did somebody leave or get knocked out? Did you fall or were you pushed? Quickly tell me, was anybody pushed out? Oh, you picked a random number? I gotta go. Alright, I'm gonna take 26. Someone here is trying to join my team. I'm gonna do Zen mode. Hello? Alright. Zen mode. I did not see who that was. Sorry, I can't do any more. My limit is 25 normally, and I did 26. Anyways, let's get started. We're going down the list randomly. Aliakin's defense. I think I didn't do the English, did I? Dutch defense? Sorry if I didn't pick you guys. But you have a better chance than winning the lotto. Did anybody hear about the South African lotto where the chosen numbers were like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and the bonus number was 10? That sounds legitimate. Absolutely. I wouldn't be concerned about that at all. Someone's like trolling the lotto. It is possible, of course. Mr. Summoner sounds so rational. Have you ever heard of that happening before? In all the lotteries in the world, you think we would have heard about it before. Alright. It would have made the news. It's South Africa. Who knows? Alright guys, I'm playing different openings if I can do it. I don't know who I'm playing against, and later when I get down to about an hour after the opening stage, we'll reveal. Please don't make any suggestions of moves while the position is in progress. Some very ignorant people have done it in the past, but most of us should know better. You can make suggestions, but not concretely in that moment when I'm about to make a move. Appreciate it. Or my opponent. Morales playing game 299, right? Morales. Yeah, speaking of Trump, 5 people are in critical condition due to his rallies today. That's wonderful. On a very bad note, gotta get our anti-Trump sentiment out for the day. It's a crazy world we live in. Alright, we're gonna play d5 against the c3 Sicilian there. So hopefully you can make it tomorrow. If not, Antonio, no problem. You've got all this week to reach game 300. Savor the moment of being the first player on my streams to reach 300. Wow. F3 directly. I've never seen anyone do that, but it doesn't seem that stupid. You could do it on move 3. I mean, I've seen knight c3, probably knight f6, f3. Interesante. Muy interesante. Well, I never played the Dutch, so if I play knight f6 and you play e4 anyway, I take it. We're fine. Presumably, I play knight f6, you play knight c3. It's not that bad. It's not like you play d4, d5, f3. I think Steinitz did d4, d5, f3 really early in one game. I try to play the opening faster. Is Schieberspieler here? DK guy, Schieberspieler is very results oriented. He's young. He's young, yet he prefers quantity to quality. This knight f6 is a very dubious line. I'm not going to do that. Probably, like, normally when people do those simuls where they're playing like a million people, they have like 10 of the people like drop out in the first like they don't even start their games. That's the standard for like a lichess simul. If I didn't ask people screen the players, I'd probably have like 5 or 7 people whose games just ended in the first 5 moves. That's very standard. If there's any problem with the stream, I think it's usually just a refresh on Twitch, guys. We're aiming for quality over quantity. But I also don't prefer to play fast games. Who's my favorite poker player? Ah, man, the favorite questions drive me crazy. Of any sort, I have a hard time answering those kind of questions. I'm not really that... Yeah, I don't really have favorites in anything, really, and I like a lot of things. It's so hard to answer those kind of questions. My favorite poker player? Amarillo Slim. I don't know, man. It's a hard thing to answer questions like that. We'll go old school. King Crusher. Streaming. So can I take this pawn? I mean, this is gonna be... Yeah. Negreanu's like being a Yankees fan. He's media savvy. He's a great poker player, but he's not better than a lot of other great players who are you know, less famous. That is a beer in my hand. Big Mon Archangelsk. What do you think about the Neo Archangelsk defense the Rove has? I'm not even sure I know what that is, to be honest with you. Dude, my beer glasses were all gone. So you know what I had to do? I had to steal one of these big wine glasses. I was desperate. But it makes a good beer glass, actually. I don't really like it as a wine glass. So we're converting to beer glass. It's going to be Notch Papa playing the French again. He has an extremely narrow repertoire. Oh, man. Beer and vodka in Serbia, we call beton. I do that all the time. Not together in the same glass. It's a good idea. Don't try this at home. I don't know why it's called Neo Archangelsk. It looks like the normal Archangelsk. I guess because you're playing bishop c5 instead of bishop b7. Is that the differentiation there? Baton is concrete, right? We use the same word in Hungarian. Yeah. Where does that originate from? Balkush is streaming live. That's funny about baton. Nobody in America would know what you're talking about, but all Europeans know what it is. So, how is it so universal? Is it really like Latin? There's the joke. It's your scientific training, DK guy. What am I doing here? I'm a little distracted by the chat. Gotta focus here in the early stages. Guys, thank you for supporting the stream. Mr. Slowhand for a donation today. Gift sub. We need as much support as we can get. I'm not high paid as a chess streamer, so I do this mainly for love. Mostly I make my living by teaching lessons. I'm not a Botez. I'm not here to look pretty. But I need your support. So, what are we gonna do? It's French. Uh-huh. It became the international word for concrete. That happens with a lot of French words. That makes sense. It sounds French. Now that we think about it, if I had to pick, I guess it sounds more French. Béton. Béton. I had no idea what I'm doing in the Aliac and 4 pawns. But French is considered, I mean, you know, it traditionally was like the international language. When my mom was a kid, which was a long, long time ago, my parents were older. I mean, traditionally, lots of people learn French in the United States, for example. By the time I was a kid, like, learning French was second to Spanish in American schools. All right. I now live in Hungary, in case you're wondering why the heck I'm here. Wow, I get to play a rouser. Jesus Christ. This is like the first rouser I've had in a simul in 3 years. Like, nobody allows me to play theory. I'm supposed to guess who everyone is, by the way. The Serbian player who I have a correspondence game with also played a rouser with me. Chances are going up. This is like a someone on sound move order. Very suspicious. Astrobate, Are you kidding me? Is this the same game and my move didn't get in? Or I have two G6 rousers now? There's no way. This is dubious for white, no? Knight F3 takes. E5, Knight B5. That's weird. Still has to be good for black. Looking for alcohol meanings. Looking for meaning in alcohol. Princess Chess, you're not in the Simul, are you? It's your favorite move. Alright. The G6 and the rouser. Yeah, it's an offbeat sideline. Play it because people don't study it. This could be DK Guy again with another Caro-Kann, the same line we had before. I'm thinking lots of repeat customers in variations were played very recently. Mr. Slow can be playing. Well, no, he played D5, so we've got someone who knows this line a little, possibly here. Sorry to inform you, you're not playing. I just assume you're here for the game. I thought you were in. You're just here to cause trouble since I've gotten rid of all the other troublemakers. Figured you'd fill the void or something. DK Guy, are you a spy? He's basically filling the troublemaker void. I don't know, man. You really worship those troublemakers. DK Guy is like, he must be somehow deep down or what's the word I'm looking for? He's regretful that he wasn't more of a troublemaker in his youth or something. He really likes the troublemakers in our stream. All right. Keep him in line, Mr. Coffee. You're gonna have to watch out for DK Guy. We've had a player who played this way. Was it a me boy? Was that another one of... This was another one of Notch Papa's weird move orders? I suspect this is someone on sound. That's his name. So whoever this is didn't play bishop takes f6. I think most strong players would play bishop f6 there. So maybe a non-master opponent. Holy crap, there really are two of those games back to back. Like, that's crazy. I thought it was just like it didn't process my move in time. What is the chances that you play two G6 rousers and both players don't take on F6? That's like the first time I've been allowed to play the black side of the rouser in like 3 years, and I get 2 games back to back. Seriously, what's the chance of that? Bishop F5. Grunfeld reversed. Same chance as the lotto is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, it's been a while since I've seen this. Feels like C4. Chess is simple. That's a new one. A lot of fast play. Nobody's playing bullet, but I'm seeing quick play across the board here. You guys might want to take more time. This is weird. That move has to be bad because no one's ever played it against me. And I've played this position a lot. I've studied it with computers. C5 has to be a mistake. The question is why, and what's the refutation? Problem is, I mean, there seem to be at least two good moves here: going back to d5, or possibly taking on d4. Let's analyze the sharp line first. I take on d4, undermining a c5 pawn. He probably takes on b6. I take on c3. He takes on d8. I take with the king. He takes on c7. I take with the king. It actually looks pretty good. I don't see a problem with this. I never did analyze the other line. So DK guy is now not playing in the simul, which makes it a little easier to guess he's not playing black. However, our opponent seems to be going for quite a sharp line here. There's a lot of instances where this is played. This is a theoretical position, and another move that I'm pretty sure isn't best, based on the fact that no one ever plays it, and I've looked at this position before, at least a little bit with an engine. C4 is interesting, very sharp move. Or knight to c3. But I mean, knight c3, cd4, knight d4, knight d4, bishop d4. Knight c3, queen b2, knight a4, queen c2. Or, no, it's hard to decide. Where's c4? Let's try the knight c3. Good game, someone on sound. First one to get picked off. In terms of identified. You've been identified. Why didn't black play cd4? I don't know, that's a lie. This is... We know who this is. We know who you are, dude. You are known to us. Oh, it is. It is. I know it's you. Once I lost to Sebe Attila, and I think it was in 1997, the first time we ever played, a variation of this with white somehow. I fell into like a trap. Could it have been this position? I've messed this up before. More than once. Trying to be fancy with like knight c6. I mean, I lost with Attila with white. Attila. Try to pronounce it correctly. Damn it. I've been in Hungary since 2004 and I'm still mispronouncing things. I think I'm supposed to just take here. Queen h5 is another move, provoking weaknesses. I feel like I'm supposed to just take. Knight c6. There's also bishop e4 check. Well, I'm just gonna take. That's an English defense. That must be acerbate, because it took forever. He spent like 5 minutes out smoking. We actually had this position with white the other day. Strangely. I never played the f3 Nimzo, and I just had this like sudden impulse to do it. I don't know why. Am I supposed to take on d4 in this line? It's been a while. This is the Dutch. My only Dutch game. And looks like white has tremendous comp. This wasn't well punished. I didn't really punish this optimally. I don't know. I thought about playing like f3 c5. That doesn't seem like a refutation. I don't know. I have to look it up. The boring defense. Favorite of Schieberspieler. Bishop back to e2? What? Okay, that's just crazy. Crazy like a fox. Guys, thanks everybody for playing. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It feels like a Pierce. I hope my evaluation of this position was okay. Study your law school stuff. Bijak. Alright. What are we gonna do? Just resign. Okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What am I supposed to do here? Good. It's a good Tarash. Give me that pawn. Give the white squares completely. Give up the white squares completely? Are you telling me I should do that? That's crazy. Turning into a normal Tarash there. Yes, must. Okay, so this is cool. I can take and play queen b6. Attacking the f2 pawn and b2. r2, b2. I guess I had the same game with Peter, Hungarian FM, last year. I can't even remember when last year was anymore. It's crazy. Bishop c4. New idea for black here. Could this be Notch Papa? What if it's not Notch Papa? That's not his normal response. What if it's like Mr. Slow playing the French or something? Knight e4 pawn. Hurts. G3, pawn takes pawn. A3, G3, wait, pawn takes pawn, A3, bishop takes, pawn takes. G3, pawn takes pawn, A3 takes, pawn takes E4. He's already taken on E4, what am I talking about? I don't know what to do here. F3, that's not good. Though it's possible to play f3. It almost looks like an f3 Cairo fantasy variation. Huh. You guys got me on this one. It's a weird exchange French if I take. I am not sure. Queen d3. Queen d3 is a move, but takes, queen takes. Knight f6. Gotta do something. Rook e1. Preventing knight takes e4. Comes with a price. Someone play this is maybe Amoeboid. We had the same thing once before. Guys, thanks for joining me. Please support the stream if you can. I'm going to give you the b7 pawn. What about knight c6 here? Free pawn, free ponies. Knight d5. Knight d5, knight d5, bishop d5. Alright. Dude. Who plays the c3 Sicilian? Who's guilty? Man, we're gonna have a lot of Tarashes today. Mr. Somewhat Unsound. I've got a few you figured out. That's bad to get crushed by Sheba and the Dragon. He's not even an e4 player. But do you mean like accelerated Dragon? Because you have to make a huge differentiation. Never ever confuse the Dragon with accelerated Dragon. I mean, they're completely different openings. Jim, if you're playing accelerated Dragon, you can't say normal Dragon. Sheber's excellent with like the Marazzi, man. You know, that's not the same thing. Well, it's just a different kind of game. I don't know how bad the real Dragon is, but it's just, you know, Schieberspieler is the kind of technical player that definitely would really excel in that. We know he plays the Marazzi well. It's not the same, though. So this is book. Right, bishop a6. Who's my game with that guy? Boring King's Indian attack. Let's try something different here. I've always been playing the same stuff against that. Man, every game is like the Tarash. This is crazy. Well, he's had practice in Marazzi a lot, probably. This is Asterbait. He's back to playing bishop c4. No matter how many times we tell him, he just doesn't listen. Listen to your elders. Oh man, I remember this position with the Fidelity standalone 2100 chess computer. That was his favorite line with black. I was playing this position in like 1986. B takes C, E4, knight G1 with advantage to white. Now transpose to theory there. Computer loved that. He loved that line with white. This could be Jim. Then that A6 move makes me suspicious. My original prognostication of someone unsound. And Jim talking about losing to... I wonder, could you be Jim? Jim's in the simul? Jim is in the simul, right? Unlike DK guy. But what would someone unsound play? Would he play the same move? Now I don't know. Who's who? What would someone on sound play? That's the question. Jim could definitely play A6. I'm thinking this could be a Peart's transposition. Cheesy Noob playing black. Used too much time, though. Would Cheesy Noob use 4 minutes or 5 minutes in the first few moves? I mean, the strategy fits Cheesy Noob. Since Pillsbury's dead, I guess this is not him. Died of syphilis. Queen D3. This better not be like a 1200. I'm serious. This better be a strong player. I don't want to play 1200s like using the Opening Explorer. It looks like an Opening Explorer style move. Something an engine would play. Bishop F6. So we're up a pawn in an endgame. I was a little greedy to grab that pawn. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't see any tactics here. So I need to develop quickly, get castled. That looks like the Dutch. I think someone thought that was a Dutch. Dimitrilas is not in the simul, right? That can't be him with that King's Indian. Now what do I do? E5? Possibly. I don't want to have a backward pawn here. But I'll be pinning myself if I do this. Do you really want to pin yourself here? Ask yourself that question. Maybe we need a rethink on the strategy here. And he's starting knight f4. Maybe we do. Dragon B70. Rating with a party of 8. Thanks for the raid. Dragon B70, you sound like familiar. Do I know you already from a previous life? We might have 5-minute follow-on, so it's possible they can't answer. Who is Dragon B70? fellow chess streamer. Alright, so Acerbate's getting into like a... What do I want to say about this? Is it really... It's okay for white then? I mean, he hasn't really made a mistake, technically. If I play that... I could play knight a5. That's stupid. If I play d5 right away, that's probably what the engine would want. No, Dmitry Les is not here. So if I play a6, we just transpose to a standard Catronius system. What else, though? d5 right away. You want to do it? I don't like it stylistically. I mean, a6 is fine. a6 is fine. Alright, so that's not e4. He's not playing the Fidelity Mach 3 master move. Mocking your master. Fidelity mocked master. We don't support the mock master on the stream. Czech beer is good. I don't know about the Czech Benoni. Don't recommend it. But we do recommend Czech beer. Good. You're always asking about beer, coffee and beer. Alright, theoretical battle here. What's up? Good question. I guess I have to castle. Castle and pray. Knight f4 right away. Well, there's nothing special to do here, I guess. Alright, Jim. So it's not someone on sound, it's Jim. Try to be as principled as possible. A great new tool by a young Polish programmer, chessvision.ai, shared by Legion. Close to the Pirtz defense. Close but no cigar. He has no knight on c3. Bishop g4. Normal looking move. Then bishop e4. That's the thing. You can't get away with that, right? This is a disaster for white. The retreat of the bishop to e2. I feel like I'm playing like Jim, but without b3. Playing the Jim opening without b3. We've got it over here. What's up, guys? Please support the stream if you can do so. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're so inclined, is e5 possible from Acerbate? See, my thing is that I hate isolated, I hate symmetrical pawn structure. So like d5, e takes d5, e takes d is not a position I view with a lot of excitement. Before I get to the 1 hour mark, I'm going to start making my picks and revealing who's who. Having tried to guess who the regular players are around here. Yeah, I mean, no, there's no question about equalizing, you know, with d5. No, actually, he could play e5 here. It may not be all that great for black now. It was stronger a move ago. It may be too late for me to play like that. We'll transpose to a standardized Catronius. I'm not in the mood for king b6 today. I'll settle for bishop d6. Dragon b70. Your name sounds familiar. That's an Encyclopedia of Chess Openings reference. But there was another player who went by that handle. There was a player... I thought there was a player on another chess site who went by that handle. Strong player. What am I supposed to do here? Besides being an obvious reference to the chess opening, it seems to me there was a title player who had a very similar name. I am Armenian. I am. You're from Hungary. No, I was thinking of an Armenian player who immigrated to the United States years and years ago. Andranik Manikosian. That's cool. You're from Hungary as well. But maybe I know your name from here as well. Do you use that name on lichess? Where's my queen supposed to go? H4. Chess tunnel vision. Tunnelers. Queen d7 is a bad choice. Thanks for the raid, Dragon. We're just going to call you Dragon. To make it more concise. Dragon b70 on lichess. My name is Impressive. Oh, we know who he is. That's funny though. You are an IM, but you're from the wrong country. I thought you were Andranik Manikosian at first. He had like virtually the same name on ICC. I mean, he used to play on ICC. What was Manikosian's name on ICC? That's weird. So Dragon b70 is Tonat Min. He's an IM from Hungary. That's funny. See, I didn't suspect it was you because you have a different name on lichess. Tommy. This knight on d4 is a problem. So Dragon b70 started streaming. Yeah, he's a player we played quite a few games recently. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do about knight b5. No, man, thanks for the raid. You're exposing your real identity. Sir, I'm impressive. I am impressive. / Tonat Min / Dragon b70. We had some good games and some quick draws. But it's cool that you're on Twitch too. I gotta concentrate here. What am I gonna do? Knight b5 is a real issue. Bishop c5. I hate these boring c3 Sicilians where black has no chance to win, but definitely has chances to lose. My record against c3 Sicilian is abominable. I'm drinking Dreyer beer, Hungary's most standardized beer. Beer is part of the simul. You're not allowed to play unless you drink beer. Thank you for the raid from Dragon b70. It's awesome to have you on Twitch. Tonat Min is a really active player, so this pandemic must be terrible for him. It must suck not being able to play in any tournaments and stuff. I know that you play a lot. We've got I can only like play once in a while in tournaments. This bishop c5, what am I gonna do? There's queen b5 check too, which is annoying. It's a tough situation because I know my position is okay, but I don't really know what I should do here. Knight c6, knight b5, rook c8, bishop f4. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm gonna, like, lose some sort of stupid miniature? You were the most active player in the world. That's insane. I never imagined that. Sebe's probably close. Definitely one of the most active players I know. What the heck? Dude, what am I gonna do? What do you do about this? Bishop c5? Bishop c5, and then knight a6. Ugh. Alright, I don't know. This is a good position. I guess. I had a very similar game recently. Damn, who knows this so well? What am I supposed to do? Running out of ideas here. What am I gonna do? What's the useful move in this position? Rook e8 or something? He's gonna play rook d1? Rook d1 and get away. That's a problem. Okay, so I have to play knight d4, I guess. Interference theme? I'm not really sure about this. I can't believe that black allows this. Wow. How does this work? Knight takes d5? This can't be right. Black just blundered. That can't work, right? Here we have a nice little tactic. It's funny though, he's not even protecting his b2. Doesn't he lose a piece? I was all excited to play queen f2 check, but queen b2 just wins a piece. Sort of like a buzzkill. The poison pawn. We've had this before. Knight back to f3. Whoa. I don't mind sacrificing pawns, but this is a problem. This, not the pawn, the pin to my d7 guy. If he takes on d6, I'm going to have to move it, so we might as well just move it first. Bishop g4. I want to play f5 soon. I'm not sure. I don't know. Bishop e6 maybe to attack a2. It's kind of a tough call. How about just f5? He takes on d6. You played 259 games? 259 games? In how many months? Or like one year? What is the 259 games, Jim? I don't know what to do. We're going to do an opening, Zen mode reveal in like 10 minutes. Where I like vainly attempt to guess who a few people are. But the 259 games in what period? I didn't click on it. I'm in trouble on time. But in 1 year? Or what was the period of time that he had the 259 games in? You can pretty much only do that in like Hungary, where there's tons of tournaments. People are asking me, why did I move to Hungary? So I can play chess all the time. Stupid question. Next question. Knight takes d4, bishop d4, bishop f3. Adventurous king. Chef master. Alright, so let me see. This is a known position from whatever, the Verisov opening. Why did you move to Tanzania? Nice joke. H6. I think you have to pay money if you're a title player if you want to switch federations. I'm not sure that's the case if you're not a title player, but they like to nail the title players' federations for money. FIDE is just a gimmick to make money, basically. I'm not a fan of the International Chess Federation, in case anyone was wondering. Maybe I'm supposed to play Bishop B4? I don't see why not. So what's a guy to do if he plays 259 games a month and there's a pandemic? Time to start streaming online or something. Alright, no, seriously, what do I do? I need to develop. Bishop G5, Bishop E7. Can I do that? Should I do that? I don't want to give up my bishop, though. Under no circumstances do I want to trade off my dark square bishop on F6. So, I'm not sure. So Bishop G5, Bishop E7. Whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. Asterbait, what's up, man? Good to see you. B5? What am I supposed to play? This is like I'm black in the dragon. I didn't refute it. Black setup there. This is terrible for white. Well, I have to admit, I missed it. I totally missed this move. I mean, it's the only move that doesn't lose a piece. It's forced. It's a good move. All right. Enough is enough. Reverse Trompowsky. Alright, we're out of here. I was just coming out to say hi. Is this like King of the Hill? Or what do we do now? King C5? Play for king centralization? Is that a good idea? If somebody wants to donate, like, I'll play King C5, but it's too late now. I would play that for a small donation. Too late now. I would settle for 500, but it's too late now. I'm not playing King C5 for free. Jim thought I was going to play it for free. 500 bits. Bits are like the money people donate here on Twitch. I wonder if it was even worth it to play Bishop E4 in the first place. Channeling my inner Ronald Burnett / Nimzovich. Alright, whatever. Testing my greed. God is testing me here. The knight is not really well placed on H3, so I'm not interested. Thanks for the raid earlier from Tommy. Astrobate with a serious Spanish, man. You're playing the Spanish with white. It's a weird Spanish where I haven't played e5 yet. Alright, dude. What are we going to do with you? Follow the Catronius recommendation. So now I have all sorts of discoveries. This actually reminds me of a game. It reminds me of my game with Tommy from the Hungarian Team Championship, where I sacked a pawn for the dark square control. It's kind of a similar thing. This is Jim. I'm gonna be pissed if it's not Jim and this is someone on sound that I'm guessing wrong. Can I play b3 here? I don't want to deal with that knight there. Do you think that learning chess strategy can help you understand strategy in other games? I think so, man. I even learned from Hearthstone. But from, yeah, definitely. I'm just kidding around. Definitely. I'm sure. I think it teaches you to think differently. You know, I don't know if it helps you to learn strategy, to better understand strategy, but I think it does teach you to think differently in other games, you know? So the way you think in poker, the way you think in chess, or even Hearthstone or whatever, can definitely have a positive effect. I think playing a lot of different games is beneficial. I never played enough. You know, I regret that I never really studied, like, for example, backgammon enough. And I had the chance. I was around some really good backgammon players at one point and never bothered to really learn, you know, which is kind of a pity. But I think it's definitely true. Yeah. This is someone super ridiculous, solid. Probably Nudge Papa. So 3 abandonates. 3 of those people who like promised, I'll never drop out, I'll never drop out, already dropped out. Backgammon, disgusting. That's harsh. I didn't know Jim was an anti-backgammoner. What am I doing here? Rook e8. How strong are Black's discoveries? If I move my bishop away there. How do you know that, man, Ramus? Only one quit for no reason? Like some of them had bad positions, so they resigned? What just happened here? And this is a threat. But I really have to be careful with this open file, the F file. I'm gonna... Man, whoever this is good. Who played an F3 Nimzo against me before? Theoretical expert. So where's the discovery? Maybe I'll just castle. This move was a total stunner. I thought that black was going to play h6. Even more solid than I expected. Definitely Notch Papa. Right? This is Notch Papa. The other French... Oh, no. No, I'm not sure. It could be. No, I'm not sure. I gotta make a pick. Alright. We're gonna guess Notch Papa. Yes! 1 for 1. Alright, we got it. The question is... I'm going with someone unsound on this instead of Jim. I'm going to say it's unsound. Yes! It was a 50-50. I mean, but I had a feeling, like, I don't know, maybe Jim would play B6 where someone unsound would play A6 or something. You thought you had me. He thought he had me. Damn. 2 for 2. This is impossible to guess, and this is probably like somebody random. Bishop f5 is a bad move. I don't know who this is. I'll just throw something out there. Who's not in the list? I mean, who's in the list? I don't know. I love Leo. Whatever. Let's know. It's too slow. Leo. Not Leo. We could guess someone. Sata, Masa, whatever. Sata Maso. All right, Sata Maso. This is the last 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can't guess that player. I had no chance there. Yeah. There was no chance for me there. This is a slow player, someone new. Also, like, impossible to guess. Though solid, more solid style. Slower. I can't guess who this could be. There was another player, like the guy who's who could this be? I mean, they don't have to be in the Twitch chat. I'm just guessing by the list and the players in the Twitch chat. I mean, it could be. I think the player I was going to guess just moved out. Damn, I don't remember all the players in the Simul. I really need a professional list. I mean, I can't think of anybody who would play the semi-Tarash that we know. DK guy's not in the Simul. No, I don't have a guess. I don't know who this is. There's no way. I don't know. Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee with the semi-Tarash. Interesting. I would expect a Queen's Gambit decline from you. Mr. Coffee, are you not in users in chat because you're a moderator? You tricked me. Damn, he's up at the top in the moderators list. I was looking under players and I totally missed him up there. I've got 2. This is probably like Amoeboid. Cobra 11. Alright. Next attempt. So that's Cobra 11. This is a relative beginner. Probably not one of the regulars, because we have mostly more advanced players who follow the stream. I have no guess. This is Leo. Leo's actually not a bad player, but he plays too fast. But he did get out of that trap. Alright. Another Tarash. I keep thinking Amiiboid. Does Amiiboid play the Tarash? Let's try again. Amiiboid. This is Sada. I don't know you. I've only got 2 so far. Well, if Demetrius was here, I would bet him, but all we've got is Mr. Slow. We'll go with Mr. Slow. Yes, 3. 3, it's for me. This is Cheesy Noob. I'm going with Cheesy. Though this time is a little slow. Maybe he went out for a shopping or something. We still have to bet Cheesy. It's Ayeste. Actually, it's slow for Ayeste too, though he sometimes drifts off. It seems like. That was tough. I thought it was Cheesy. Cheesy's still in there. We've got 3. Gym-like setup for white. This is anybody's guess. Quick player. There's no move 11 in the stream. We could bet anybody here. Legion. It's Tal from Punjab. Okay. There's no way. I'm guessing strangers. Except for sheer luck, of course. I got 3 right. Oh, I'm supposed to go back and guess who that was. But this is one of the new players. This is definitely not a regular player. I don't know. This is Isipius. Alright, Isipus. There's no way I could guess this player. Relatively new to the stream. Totally. Even. Here, I don't know. It could be some adventure-minded player I've played before. They're playing quick. Anybody come to mind? What about Swedish Girls? What's Swedish Girls' name? This is also not one of our regulars. Time Move is in the stream. Could it be Time Move? You want to guess Time Move? It's Cheesy playing this. Dude, you're crazy. Cheesy Noob is playing E4. I had the feeling it could be a decent player sort of messing around a little bit. Not entirely surprised by that. Not entirely surprised. Right. Cheesy Noob. Cheesy Noob is total crazy. Okay, this is also a dangerous and adventurous player who's used no time at all. Highly dubious opening, of course. But it's an interesting gambit. I mean, everything very sensible by white. You want to bet Legion playing F3? No. Legion likes theory. But this is a dangerous player. But who would do that? I don't think it's one of our regular subscribers. Would someone on sound possibly do something as crazy as play d4? You think it's someone on sound? Let's try. It's a me, boy. I don't know, man. I thought maybe it was someone on sound messing around with me. Looks like something you would play. Try d4 to mess with me. It was a me, boy. Okay. The time should have been a giveaway. A me, boy always plays like insanely fast every game. I don't know why he has to do that, but it's like mandatory. Every game is like a bullet game. I got it wrong. I'm on a bad roll. I've only got 3. What was my best? Like 8 once? 7? Only 3 this time. Man, this is kind of annoying. White's a tiny bit better, but it's not much. I mean, honestly, like, Donch Papa's almost unbeatable. Except for occasionally in the endgame, I can beat him. Only very, very rare endgame wins. This is Mr. Coffee. So we haven't shown this. Jim has not been exposed, right? This is Jim. It's got to be Jim. Yep, 4. It's funny, I forgot about the move order, you know. I had forgotten about the move order. And so I didn't suspect you. This is Chef Master going for 5. Chef Master. Chef Master. Chef Master going for 5. $94, unbelievable. I wish I could sack my queen somehow. I have to go back. There's no other move. The Bishop of Death, Jim. Coming to a theater near you. What's that? Legion, what is that rating profile? An FM rated 1492? Bishops are bad? 94 is a neat move. Yeah, I wish I could sack my queen or something. Astrobate's playing a Joker Piano / Roy Lopez with white. Maybe we just play e5. It's a good Lopez for black. So Bishop d2. Who is this? Who is this? Playing the white side of f3 Nimzo. I feel like I have a vague familiarity. Someone played the f3 Nimzo against me recently. Anybody? Legion? This has to be Legion. No, it's Zinkelberger. Damn. Zinkelberger. Player of f3 Nimzo. I have to remember. Check is check. Check and then f5. Check and f5. Chicken f5. Chicken f5. Chicken. f5. g5. Bishop takes c3. Queen h4 check. Okay, like what happens if I do this? If I do this. If I Okay. There's an FM rated 1400. They're probably like a little kid who won a regional tournament. Like the FIDE gives away the FM title for stuff like Zone 2 under 12 championship. Probably some kid in India who's like 2200 strength is rated 1200, won some tournament, and got the title automatically. I remember when I played Luke McShane, he was an FM, even though his rating was like 2150. Sometimes FIDE just does those automatic titles. Really not sure about this. Who is that player, by the way? I keep guessing Legion every game, but this was a what? An E4 B6? I didn't realize I even played the Owen defense. It's an E4 player who's pretty good. Antonio's out there. Maybe it's him. Antonio, is this game 299? Yes! Oh, I'm like a genius. I can't believe it. I know you guys, after 299 games, can smell Antonio a mile away. He loves the E5 square. You can just tell, man. I know how much you love E5. 5. He loves E5. It's crazy how much he loves E5. Alright, 299 games from Morales. That's crazy. Bishop F2 check. King F2, 94. No tactics here. Feels like there's almost a tactic. So who's the C3 Sicilian player? Who's the C3 Sicilian player? Seriously. They played what? Knight B3 on me? Dude, C3 Sicilian players are on the wrong stream. Seriously. Who could this be? Someone on sound? No. We haven't guessed someone on sound, right? But I don't know who's left. I'm running out of time. So I'm just gonna try a couple more guesses and then play. Time move. Yes! Oh, I did it. Unbelievable. 6. I'm like secretly looking on another screen and cheating. No, I'm just kidding. I would never cheat, guys. I have too much moral fiber to do that. It would be easy to cheat, though. But I'm really not cheating. 6. So did I name this one? We did, right? I named this one already. I mean, I didn't pick it. I was wrong. This was the German guy. What's his name? I forget his handle now. Cobra. The TV cop guy. I never watched German TV. I don't know how I know that. Maybe I saw the German TV guide or something when I was in Berlin. I don't remember why I know this is a German TV show. I got 6. No. I mean, there was a couple weeks ago when I got the 8 or whatever. It wasn't that long ago. But I really have to give up now. I'm afraid that's it. I gotta just play. So I'm just gonna start playing. We got 6. Someone on sound. You want to try to guess someone on sound? He's like teasing me. I don't know who this is. This can't be him. He wouldn't do this, would he? Like drop a central pawn? Someone in sound's never made a mistake in the opening before. Just dropping a central pawn? Do you want to guess someone on sound? Mirt the Sacker. I'm just dissing someone on sound now. Alright. I'm desperate to catch him. I'll just guess every game. This has got to be him. Wait. C4, E5. This has got to be him. No. We saw this already. Damn it. Alright. No. Punjab is like 1200. Don't even start with that. They are like a 1200. Alright guys, I gotta play. Someone on sound. I didn't catch you. But I gotta focus on the games now. Alright, no more Zen mode. Someone on sound survived. It's like Duck Duck Goose. Or whatever. I have 45 minutes. It's gonna be time pressure. Nils, what's up? Didn't wait for you. Asterbait. I didn't call out Asterbait? Oh my god. I mean, I did. I mean, everybody knew that I knew it was him. But I didn't technically call him out, right? This would have been 7, so it doesn't count. I didn't technically call him out. I don't get credit for Asterbait. Cheesy Noob. Cheesy Noob is just ridiculous. Stuff he comes up with. Unbelievable. Rook D3. I bet Cheesy Noob's like tactical trainer thing is pretty high. Time Move hadn't been around in a while. I didn't have it in my mind they were a C3 Sicilian player. Never castle queenside in the Benoni. Just you guys heard it here first. Alright? It's right up there with my highest rules of you never ever castle queenside in the Benoni. It's a rule you can totally depend on. Knight G5, HG5, Rook H8 takes, Queen H7. Almost works. Dude, Asterbait is a natural in this closed Spanish. Or whatever it is. The whatever it is. The natural. He's practically Robert Redford. Europeans are really digging our baseball references. Does anybody else here ever play Hearthstone? Because I have a problem, like, I play this stupid game just to, like, take my mind off stuff sometimes. But it has these, like, it has, like, cheesy background music, and now I played it and I can't get this, like, song out of my head. It's terrible. Hearthstone background music song. Oh. That's brutal. Zinkelberger is not shy. 2200 in rapid, so this is a strong player. Although I did win against him. No wonder he knows the opening. Zinkelberger must die. I know that doesn't sound nice, but I meant it in the best possible way. Queen h4 check. Jesus. G3? Well, I can always go back. This can't possibly hurt. Castle's queenside. Oh, I have this. Eucalyptus. Ukulele. Now you're going to play well. None of that is allowed. You butchered the opening. You better continue to play bad. That's an adventurous move from the normally solid Notch Papa. Let's develop. Mirales. This is game 299. That's wrong. No, it's right. 299. I was panicking. I was saying the wrong number. Whew, that was close. I was worried we were wrong. Alright. Zinkelberger played the expected King G1. This is all a very deep reaction. Zinkelberger has only used 3 minutes for the whole game. Damn, dude. Well, I gotta do it. This player is way stronger than 1500. Come on now. It's extremely typical. We get a lot of players who play like they're 2100 when they're 1500. Alright. Ugh. Please don't say things like that on my stream. Spawn of the devil. I have E5 here. But I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. Why don't they hire someone good with all the money they have to do commentary? It's like they're saving money. Maybe I should play H5. Esopus is now turning into a master after playing the opening like 1,000 player. Leo is pretty much similar. But Leo plays for time mostly. It's impossible to beat this guy. What am I gonna do? It's like hopeless. I'm really sick of the Magnus tournaments every 5 days. Pretty boring, if you ask me. Every 5 days, a new Magnus tournament for $1,000 million. It's getting old. Okay, this is weak. It got old a while ago. By the way, Time Move is pretty strong. They have like a 25% score against me. Their rating has seemingly gone up a little. I don't love this position much. Wow. Bull is lame, man. I don't think that, I don't know about chess.com, but Daniel Wrench is not the guy who put down his money to buy the domain when they bought it. He may be like a part owner. But those guys had no money when they started chess.com. They got the money from someone else to buy the domain. I don't remember the guy's name or anything like that. This player plays like a 2100 at least. $14.97 in rapid. No, so they had to pay a huge amount of money for the domain at that time. Mostly people don't buy domains for like $100,000. They'll just use another domain. But their chess website was based on the domain name alone and nothing else. So that's why for like forever their site sucked so bad. Their only capital was the name of the website. What does that mean? I love Swedish grills? No, I'm playing 25 people and I have effectively like 5 seconds per move. Or something like that. I have to play all my moves in 30 seconds. Seriously. He makes comment. A guest on the stream, he makes the comment, the beer starts to kick in. Are you serious? Why don't you try this sometime? See how you do. It's extremely hard. It's not the beer that's kicking in, it's the time that's kicking in. The beer only makes me stronger. Are you serious? It doesn't matter if I have 7 beers. But the time is going to be hard to deal with. I waited too long. I mean, I'm supposed to stop the Zen mode thing at like 60 minutes, but I went till 45. Astrobai's playing the white side of this Lopez really well. Okay, I don't understand. What's happening here? Queen A4. What? You think they rent the domain? That's not what I heard, dude. When they first bought it, they bought it outright. It's possible I was given totally artificial information, but I don't know why. I heard it from a reliable source. Who knows, though? I don't know, man. Renting it for 15K a month? Where would you get that information, Chef Master? That seems crazy. He bought it for 55,000. I heard it was more. So we got all three different theories. Maybe they jacked up the number to make it sound better. I believe that. They probably really paid 55 and then around telling people. Then they went around telling people that they paid 100,000. That sounds about right. Very possible. Yeah, I can't believe people would rent a domain like that, dude. You know. That's crazy. It was earlier than 2008, I thought. When did it start? This is Legion? Wow. Well, I don't think it's a bad investment for a domain name like that, but if you have crappy programmers and stuff, it was like they had their uncle programming the site, man. You have Danny Wrench as a commentator, and then Uncle Bob and Jimbo are like the programmers. I mean, frankly, I didn't play on the site for multiple reasons. Not just because I don't like those guys, but the website just sucked, you know? That was the primary reason. I mean, lots of noobs went on chess.com because they're noobs, you know? They don't know any better. But any good players didn't play on there because the programming just was like... The whole interface sucked and it was ugly. But I left the United States in 2003, so I don't know anything about Robert Hess or a lot of people. What is happening here? If I take on D3, takes on G7. This is confusing, man. ICC is... Man, I was so mistreated by them. Those poor bastards. This is unbelievable. Alright. Damn, Notch Papa. I mean, do you ever lose? I want to know who Notch Papa is. What his FIDE rating is. We want to know his real FIDE rating. I think he's told us. I forget. But I'm not going to rant about other chess sites, Nils. You're as bad as Bob or something. Let's try to be positive. Man, this is rough, dude. I don't know what to do here. This is crazy. I'm overreacting. Have to be overreacting. I have to play d5. I mean, Bob just stirs up trouble for fun, you know. Nils is actually interested in what he's talking about. He's not doing it to just be a troublemaker. There's a big difference. But it's going to distract me. Bob does it on simuls and I get pissed off. But Bob does it on purpose to distract me while I'm playing, which isn't cool. Alright, White's trading into a lost endgame there. I'm just going to resign this. Now, Leo was even talking trash earlier. Did you see the opening? King d2. And now he's going to crush me. It's obviously theory, but he's used like 2 minutes for the whole game. Alright. I'm not going to play that. Masturbate with bishop b1. Are you preparing queen c2 and queen h7, mate? Masturbate, this isn't really like you, your style. You should be more aggressive. Wow. That's so weird. Thought I was doing alright here. But no matter what you do, you can't get away from these bullet players. Boyd, Jim. Everybody likes bullet. Inexcusable. What am I gonna do here? The last 1935. Dude, look at his ratings. What do I do? Knight d5, bishop g3, hg3. Now black played bishop f8. Why am I playing rook b2, rook b1? I just forgot my plan. It's crazy. I'll play it again. Play it again, Sam. Now what? You just played de5. Okay. Am I losing a pawn now? Seriously? Oh my god. I just don't like playing the people like Leo who play bullet. I'm probably only slightly worse in that position when I resigned. But it's going to get to that. He's got 18, 19 minutes, and I have 1 minute. It just makes me angry. I've asked them repeatedly to use time and to play normally. Here I'm only slightly worse. Astrobate, man, where do you get this from? You're playing like a full-on positional game now. Cheesy noobis. Incorrigible. Incorrigible. Chef Master's not really in time pressure. It's like a fake time pressure. He's actually an extremely fast player. Well, I guess he's changing Astrobate's style now. Yeah. It's like this other student I have. I'm not going to mention names. He started taking lessons with another player who likes boring positions and endgames. And he's like changing the style of my student, or trying to force him to play like endgames because he likes endgames. I think that's ridiculous. The guy's got immense tactical talent, and now this guy is gonna like try to turn him into like a boring endgame player. Dude, what? Maybe I'm better off not. Just not. Just don't. Don't. Why do I have to move my pawn? It will block your pawn, though. Ooh, somebody got banned. Yeah, let's keep him out of the simuls permanently. I was nice enough to accept again. He was never like abusive before. No, no. No, this is another student who started taking lessons with the second teacher. I'm talking about something serious, not just some random simul game. My point is this people that teach students shouldn't try to make the students conform to how they play. You know? I don't think that's right. Personally, you know, I think you should take into consideration the style of the player they develop on their own naturally. This is a completely different subject. Yeah, Astrobate is like, dude, what are you doing? But they came up because you're talking about Schieberspieler playing Astrobate. But Astrobate's talent is he has tremendous like tactical talent. If he starts playing positions like this, it just all goes to waste. Everything that I tried to do with Astrobate was teach him to play open positions, and now he's playing like the closedest thing in the world, you know? I was trying to get him to not play the Czech Benoni for exactly that reason. So I hope that nobody's encouraging Astrobate to, damn it, to play like, man, I missed that. It's one thing to improve your positional side of your game, but don't try to change them completely. I guess I could have played King E7 there. Yeah, I mean, this player is really solid. I'm just going to offer a draw. I'm not going to be able to beat them. Did I lose my pawn yet? Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, seriously. Maybe I can make a draw if I'm lucky. He just sacked a piece with knight f5 from the boringest position ever. Man, I don't know. I was encouraging to be tactical, but I mean, this is going pretty far, dude. What is happening? Schinkelberger. Schinkelberger is like a maniac. I actually think the f3 Nimzo is very positional. It's not intended to be like maniac style. Space advantage, positional play. See, Astrobate goes crazy because he doesn't know what to do. I'm just revolving between like 3 games. I'm about to be down a pawn with like no compensation. But I have only rarely wins against Lodge Papa. I might as well just accept it. Rook b2. Your c3 knight is defended 17 times. Do you think that's enough? Can you defend it anymore? Maybe? It's pretty rough. What do I do now? Do you think you could defend it again? Cabin in the Woods, Blobix, what's up? Dude, James, how appropriate. Alright. I lost 1 game. We've got 5 wins, but a lot of stuff to get through. Man, I thought you would be walking into some sort of tactic, but there's like nothing here. Wow. Wow. This has got to be something for me. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. He declined my draw and played queen e6. Are you serious? Because if I offer a draw, it means I'm worse. Cheesy Noob has a knight, so he would never content himself with a draw. This is 2077. Looks pretty tough. Can I win a pawn here? No. Okay, I feel like I'm playing the Albin. I feel like I'm not even up material here. Wow. What is going on, man? Damn. I don't know what to do. Bishop h6? That's not going to work. He declined my draw offer and then traded queens. Does that seem weird? Or is it just me? It seems like a weird choice against a titled player who likes endgames. But I'm paranoid. Alright. Winning position. My rook was hanging, seriously? I guess that doesn't work. Alright, well somehow I beat Jinkelberger before, but not this time. That's not gonna cut it. Maybe it is the beer. Alright. I don't know how I beat him before, but I did. Not really sure. Not my best game there. Just dropped a rook. Never had a clue that my rook was under attack on a8 since I first went it. I never would have played. Stefanstein is raiding with a party of 2. Thanks for the raid. I literally was completely oblivious to a8 ever being threatened in that game. Even, well, in the opening it was obviously, but it's like weird. Wow. I've never lost a game. Oh, you're a Schinkelberger. Okay. I never lost a game in that line, I don't think. It's not my turn? Check this out. I'm in check. I don't even know when I'm in check. It's not about beer. Alright, Mr. Coffee is super salad. Cheesy Noob is sick character. God, what am I gonna do here? What? I don't care. I don't care. I will find a way to make this work. What happened? Queen h4. Also out of character. Chef Master trading queens. Character. It builds character. Wait, rook c8? Dude, you can do that? Can't believe this. Yeah, that's a weird move. Kind of a weird move. I'm slightly better. Need to focus. Notch Papa. How much time did you use on the last move? Check this out. What? What? It doesn't show time. That sucks. I wish it would show the times. Times New Roman. I'm missing my queen here against Mr. Slow. Everybody's a good defender and no one ever loses on time, and they're all good at endgames. I'm slightly worse. I played Queen A4 like a loser. I shouldn't have done that. Panicked. I go into these end games thinking that I'm doing alright, but I actually have nothing. Where I came from, like, people used to make mistakes in end games, typically. Weaker players especially. Not anymore. I should have a large advantage in endgames, for the most part. Any master should be at a massive advantage in endgame stage. It's unbelievable that I have no threats here in this position. So he's 15.99. He declined a draw. That's weird. Why would you decline a draw against an international master? It's like a good achievement. Damn, Astrobate. You just gave me a piece? Playing too fast, man. He's playing too fast. The sacrifice might have even had some validity. Come on. Take the game seriously. You're sacrificing a piece against an IM in a simul game. I was criticizing him before for playing too positional. But that is not the right position for him to play. Not at all. Absolutely not. You gotta stop playing. I've told you 100 times. No closed positions. Gotta play open. That's why I moved away from the check Benoni. Alright. What is happening now? Oh my god. Damn, the B file. Damn the torpedoes. Purple pawn in an endgame there as well. What? Wow. But no matter what I do, I get simuls filled with people who like play too fast. It drives me crazy. Take your times. E3. I guess that doesn't really use his time. He just goes away from the computer or something instead of... He pretends to use his time because I get mad if he plays too fast. I think. Once I resign, like, or something weird happened. This player is setting the record for today. Knight takes would have been safer there. Bishop c5. Yeah, this is so solid for black. All right, man. Mr. Coffey's really only one of the only players who actually used his time. Really used his time to think about his moves. Queen takes g4. What? Amiiboy has never used that much time before. Wow. And now he has some sort of miraculous tactic with rook d7 check. That was literally the longest he ever thought on a move. That's pretty wild. It's totally complicated. It's a weird game. I have a bad feeling about this. Maybe we can hold on. So Astrobate just sacrificed a piece. Without calculating the full ramifications of what he was doing. He just looked, he like leaped before he looked. Metersecker also is capable of playing very, very fast. Jim is a good player. This is really weird. Cheesy Noob's not playing with a full deck. He does crazy stuff on purpose, I think. Now it's too dangerous. I mean, maybe I can play King H8. Can I play King H8? Oh boy, I'll probably get mated if I do that. Why would I play A3 here? I'll try F5. Now, Astrobate, like you basically started with 15 minutes and you've spent 4 minutes on your 24 moves. I don't think that's cool, you know? I think you need to do yourself a favor and respect the game more and take more time and actually think. You need to use a little bit more time. There's still danger here for me. But objectively, I should be winning. I can't believe he really went to H4. Now what do I do? I don't know, I'm not focusing well. I'm not focusing well. I don't know why. Maybe I haven't been playing enough long games myself. Just not seeing the board well. What do I have here? Maybe F4? Yeah, I mean, Dr. Tripp is pointing out the obvious tactic. Probably the peanut gallery feared for my life. Mr. Coffee, solid, slightly passive for black. Morales 299. You want me to look at that position afterward? Okay, we'll try to remember. If you're still here, you're probably busy, but now Morales has got that bishop. Really strong piece there. It's pretty dangerous. How's my bishop doing? Masturbate trading queens? What? It's like he's putting his moves in a random number generator. Not Papa offering a draw here. He's a clear pawn up. I mean, I have control of the file. I don't think that compensates enough for being down a pawn. So I think he's too generous with the draw offer. This is like a nightmare. How about c4? I've had a very bad score against Legion. He offered me a draw. Can I do, man? I mean, it's probably a draw. Takes, queen takes, 95. Let's see. Takes, king takes, 95. Then he pins me. Whatever. I'm getting low on time. We got to give away the necessary amount of draws. The necessary draws. Please don't play Hearthstone. If you do, don't turn on the music. This is a good game by Mr. Slow. Knight A7. Wow. It's almost like he's trying to lure me in. Unclear how strong Chef Master is. He's got really high bullet rating. But I mean, I'm just like, I feel like I'm playing a GM or something. Alright, now E8's hanging, B7's protected, but he has the threat of B4. I mean, Masturbate did a crazy thing because he doesn't think. You just... Why are you playing so fast? What? Oh yes, what? Legion must have lost concentration or something. I guess he didn't have a defense. He had a defense. But he did have a defense. He had to play Queen F1. G5, master. G5. We have a strong break here, or F6 maybe. It's actually turned into a really good King's Indian attack. If there's enough pieces left to do any damage. Quite the 1200. Now I had a hallucination here, I think. Weird. Queen e3. Wait, what? What? I don't know, Astrobate, what are you doing? Why are you playing like random moves really fast? Knight b3. He could have played bishop takes f3 last move. I was totally freaked about that, but not my only problem. Good job, Mr. Slow. And I keep having hallucinations. What the heck? What does that move do? What? Bishop f6? Uh-oh. It's crazy. Dude, you're unbelievable. Really, it's unbelievable. I like how the 1200 is playing. What? Alright, a6. Dude, you just did what? You did what? Rook f6? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Mr. Kofefe. Damn. Staying solid. Chef Master seems... he's different than he used to be. He's gotten more serious about these things. This guy is ridiculous. I mean, you're $15.99 in Blitz, you say? $12.99 in Bullet, and you're playing like a master? I mean, that's just ridiculous, dude. I mean, what's the point, dude? I don't want to play somebody who's like 2100, pretending to be 1200. Like, why are we doing this? I completely understand if you're like 1900 or something, but you're not. It's clear with those ratings. Or sometimes people like think it's okay to play with other people's accounts, but that's deceptive, you know? It's not fair to play in your little brother's account when you're like a 2100. I mean, this, I think that you're a certain strength, and then you're like really 2100. That messes me up, you know? It's not fair. I'm playing like 25 people at the same time. I think that you're a 1500 or a 1200. It's not right, you know? You can't do that. I've allotted the simul, so I have so many like lower rated players and so many high rated players I think I can handle. And suddenly like the 1200s are 2100s. That's messed up. I'm just barely holding this. Wow. What? I should just resign against this guy. I mean, it's like, I don't want to play your 2200 brother. What does this prove? Man, Jim. Chef Master's like a different player since last week. He's completely changed style. He was crazy tactical. Now he's like an endgame god. Draw declined. Even Mr. Coffee has me on the run. Wow. He was totally passive a minute ago. And I've lost everything. It's unbelievable. Damn, dude. You always play well against me. Damn. Mr. Coffee's brutal because he's in that terrible time pressure. Oh, he's gonna blunder. He's gonna blunder. Did I just mouse slip? What is going on? Queen F4 now? What? This is crazy tactical position. I don't believe it. If I trade rooks, you'll hold on somehow. I don't know what to do. Sack the exchange. Damn it, it doesn't work. Wow. I don't know. Every game I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't deal with it. This guy offered a draw. I thought I might be losing this if I'm not careful. Whoa. F4. I should just resign here, really. This is clearly not a 1500. Who's 1200 in bullet. I mean, why are you trolling me like that? Who are you pretending to be? Maybe we can beat someone on sound in some sort of tactical position. I don't know. Morales game 299. Move 11, welcome. Mr. So declined the draw. Damn it. No, I'm the mate. Pawn outside. Did I drop a pawn or something? What is up here? Murdersacker another one of those like time pressure pretenders. He just sort of seems like he's in time pressure, but he does it every week. It's just to like mess with you. Got two of them, actually, Mr. Slow and the other. I have no mate here, no nothing. No tactic, zero. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Alright, my knight is ridiculous. Damn it. Damn it, Mr. Coffee. Wow. In the zone today. Jim, that's subtle. Very subtle. I have rook g8 or... my queen seems out of play. We almost have rook h7. Mr. Coffee, no need to offer draw, you're better. You're a pawn up. Whoa. Wow. So how strong is this player again? Whoa. What? Man, Ayesta just collapsed. I have to say, like, some of the sound is almost predictable. Dude, what? Oh, alright. I thought I hung a pawn. I thought I hung a pawn. I was freaking out. So he's desperate. This position is starting to piss me off a little bit. Whoa. Mr. Someone on Sound? Mr. Someone on Sound just resigned? What? What is this guy's deal? 9 minutes left? He's like the record holder? He is the record holder. Crazy endgames today. There's funny similarity there. A lot of king and pawn in games. Man, this is remarkably similar to the other one. Guys, 11 minutes left. Record number of king and pawn endgames. offers a draw. Damn. I don't know, Jim. I might be better here if I have enough time. I think I'm probably better. I'm feeling kind of tired and generous. The outside pawn, but there is danger. I'll take it. Rook f5. Rook f5 is a little risky. Cheesy noob. Cheesy noob is in trouble. Draw. I lost 2 already, so there's no chance of a... That's like a record number of draws. I remember Leo, right? And I lost to the f3 Nimzo. Yeah. So how do I make this work? f4? I can just make you run out of moves, no? Similar to the cheesy noob endgame. So lots of king and pawn endgames. Yeah, against Jim I might be winning, but I mean it's not easy. It's a very technical position. Cheesy noob is going for it here. He's gonna find it rough going. Got our last games. Wow. 3 endgames. Noob is too far away. He's not in the square. Out of the square. Out of the square. Get out of the square. Alright, we got him. Another king and pawn game win. I did lose too. I resigned against Leo, partly because I had a slightly worse position. Partly because I was frustrated with his fast play, but the other game I was totally lost. I dropped a rook. We got this done in reasonable time today. Is there still a chance I can save this? If I didn't count my chickens too soon here. I have h6. h6, h5. Take f4, king e4. Thing is, I can go king c4, king b3, king a3, king b3, queen quickly. So like take f4, king e4, king c4. Take f4, king e4, king c4, king f4, king b3, c4, king c4. That sucks. Could be like waiting moves. But I have endless waiting moves, right? Alright. Forgot about this one. Weird endgame. This could go on forever. I didn't understand I'm down a pawn here, frankly. When did I lose a pawn? I just sacrificed my H pawn? He's a genius. There was one game that Dr. Tripchance was asking about now. Remind me which game that was. Crazy, man. This is a weird plan. I should probably do like a pawn sacrificial breakthrough. It's risky no matter what I do. This is the other game. Because I'm waiting moves, king d5, king c5. I'm going to push when he plays c4, then I get the c4 right away. I don't have to play games with that pawn. I mean, am I hallucinating? Could I have taken f4? Yeah, I don't want to waste time taking a c-pawn. I missed this move. Oh my god. Okay, here. His rook's in a really bad position. He has a bad king. My king could be good or bad. But his play this game is pretty unbelievable already. Excellent. Play by white. Unbelievable in a good way. He's played before in the past, like really ridiculously wild. Even Tonat Min was commenting on his play in this game with knight e4 is sort of amazing. But basically he just completely toned it down to like perfect endgame grind in a technical way. Didn't go too far. c4, king c5. Then I play f4. Okay, so f4. He's not in the square. Takes g4, king e3, g3. That's not going to work. He's going to get in the square. So I have to do f4, take, king d3, f3, king e3, king c4. Should be winning. Chef Master could have avoided one exchange of rooks. I'm not convinced I played that right either. If I win this, I win it by like one tempo. Yeah, he's too slow here. I actually win by like 2 tempi, I think. So it'll be down to one opponent. This is actually a really bad blunder. It's even possible for white to lose. He's just like automatically counting on me taking and just assuming, you know, I take, but I don't take. I play check and check, and then I take. I don't think he can really lose. Can he? I'm still not sure I should take. Maybe I should play like rook a2. No, I can't play rook a2. If I take, this is a really demented position. I mean, his rook has no squares, but h1. He has to go rook h1. So if I take, he plays like rook h1. I play... Oh, God. The other game is still going? I'm going to need to think on this a little bit. I mean, I have a draw here with perpetual, or I take. Very lucky. I mean, I was close to lost here. Time move is just lost. King g4, king a3, king f5, king b2, king g6, a3, king h6, a2. He can't even get close. But I mean, am I winning here? I mean, pawn takes pawn, rook h1. Then what do I do? He's threatening rook d1. So let's say like rook d2. Rook d2. He goes back to h1. Then what do I do? Rook, so where? Rook d3, king b2, rook e3, king b3. I think we gotta try for entertainment value. It's just too interesting, you know, this position, to just agree to a draw. But I feel like I'm trying to do the impossible here. My king is not in a good position. It's way outside. I just basically gave up what was essentially a perpetual. I'm protecting the base, my pawn chain. What's left of my pawn chain? I mean, am I realistically... Do I realistically have winning chances here with my king basically exiled to the other side of the board with my rook alone? There could be some really demented study-like thing where I bring my king in and like mate him while letting him queen or something. I could see like pushing my pawn to b2. That's not happening. There's nothing here. We had lots of draws. I let the Zen thing go a little too far, as usual. Sorry for scrolling, guys. I know that can cause car sickness. I mean, if I could like get all of his pawns, I would be winning. But I don't think that's happening. I guess just getting his C and his C pawn. I could have played rook c2, rook d1, king h4, rook d5, rook c3, rook b5, rook e3. You know, you could see some sort of rook and pawn against rook and 2. But if my e pawn is far enough down, you know, that's the pawn. I think this is the pawn that's likely to be a winner in some kind of endgames. If I'm getting all of his pawns, man, yeah, if I get all of his pawns for free, most of them. What a wise ass. Just trying to say something that sounds intelligent here. Alright. Guys, we're going to be back tomorrow morning. Blitz and Rapid Chess. Please support the stream. Let's get some subscribers. Mr. Slow, WJ Loof, Jim, thank you for your donations this week. Mr. Slow, 1366. What was Hastings? Anyway, WJ Loof, 3000. Mr. Jim, 400. Morales played his 299th game. Mr. Slowhand, move 11. Fortuna Chess donated this week. Gift subs. How about some subs? Chef Master panicking here. If I could get his H pawn, you know, I would have good winning chances. You write reports? I write reports. So we just took out the key pawn, the H pawn. That was a big one. He just gave it up without a fight. That doesn't look right. But he did cut off my king. Let's get a little closer. Get a little closer. Rook d3 is looking pretty good. Rook c2. Rook c2, rook d8, rook c3. Rook d5, sorry, rook d5. Rook e3, rook b5. That's pretty much what I was talking about. If I go there. Rook d3. King b2. I hope this works. I'm letting his king out. This may be a huge mistake. Probably I should have played the other way. But I have this. That looks kind of over, actually. I think that's over. He can survive with those two connectors. He just blundered. I mean, with b3, there was like no losing chances in this endgame for white. So I'm super lucky. He played that really impulsively. The other thing was I thought he should have kept the rooks on the board. Probably not exchanging the first rook looked interesting, like rook f4. Time to go. But I mean, I don't have to take his pawn, I just push and it's over. I'm good with arrows. You may be good with reports. I just draw arrows for a living. Well, I mean, honestly, like Chef Master played the endgame pretty well till the endgame technical part. Played the whole game pretty well. Yes, it should differentiate. That's right, Nils. Are you good at endgames? Tactics are your only weakness. And sideline opening theory? Jim, what about the final position? You had 1 missed win, you had 3. Oh, that makes me feel good. You missed 3 wins. It's good you recognize your arrogance. See, that's the first step to healing. Recognizing that you're arrogant. We've had this issue with other people on my stream, and their biggest problem was they never realized how arrogant they were. But Nils actually knows his own problem already, so you're practically there. You're the team leader today? You're definitely underappreciated. Nice job, and 7th overall. Let's everybody give Dr. Tripchance thanks for playing in today's. I've been trying to kind of forget the team battle today. We have never finished last before. Dr. Tripchance. I mean, you did well individually, but I feel like the team is in a spiraling depression after that result. You did a great job, but I expect that. I mean, you played really well fast blitz, and you've had good results. Taken for granted. He's taken for granted. Dude, e3, rook takes d3, e2, rook e3, queen, take, a4. Or let's say king b5, check. Isn't there an easier way to win this? Get one closer. Will that help? No, it's like totally over. Well, I don't think it's easy to say if king f3 is better. Then I'm like pinned when I go e3, rook takes d3. I mean, I'm pinned to my, my e-pawn's pinned to my king. I'm not sure if it's best or not. No, I'm just going d2 and he has to give up his rook. Good night, Mad Ramus. Thanks for playing. Thanks everybody for playing. It is time for queen. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. CET. He is a little bit lost now. Slightly lost. Playing on out of momentum. The momentum of the occasion is momentous. Give me that. Proper technique. Alright, so Dr. Tripchance suggested we take a look at the one game. What? Wrong link. Where did it go? This was the game? The Amoeboid game? Oh. So I don't know what position you want to start in. When I played e2, he played rook d7 check, and I sacked my queen here. Well, I'll tell you now, I was afraid of threats against h7. So you probably wanted to look at king h8. I saw king g8, queen c4 check. That's not good, I guess. So king h8, I guess I was afraid of, well, the obvious, rook e1, right? I was afraid that this is just a big problem, you know? I was afraid that on h7 I couldn't defend, and I'm going to lose this. You know, like I looked at this, and I'm just draw. So basically I didn't know what to do here, is what I'm saying. Because he has stuff with knight g5, he has queen h4. I could play like queen e3 check, but I don't think that does anything. Maybe I have that though. I have queen e3 check, queen f2. Computer says h5. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I would think like here. King h1, queen f2, threatening rook takes f3, and stopping queen h4. I'm afraid to turn on the computer, it's just winning, right? Not clear. So I missed something here. So not queen f2, but this. Ooh. He doesn't have an in-between move? Oh, his rooks is attacked. Aha, and then this. Easy. So he doesn't have a defense. His rook's hanging, and I'm threatening to take this out. You know, I think I looked at, you know what I looked at? I looked at knight e5, and I saw he had queen d4. I thought that worked. That doesn't work. I just take here. That's ridiculous. So I just blew it. Amoeboid gave me a huge chance. Yeah, he missed something, which is very rare. And I was totally winning, and I did this, and now it's just a draw. I mean, I guess I'm slightly better here, but it's the typical 2 rooks for the queen. Maybe he draws by force, actually. Guess it's not so easy, huh? Rook f2. Okay, this is not so clear, so he has to keep the queen on. I was going to try this, but then thinking about how fast Amoeboid is, I decided not to. Because it's going to be very tricky with the queen against the 2 rooks. I'll probably, like, lose. That was my thinking. If I had realized I'm just winning by not going into that, I would have taken it. It's a pity. Yeah. Yeah, so this... I didn't see king h8, how strong this is. I guess I was paranoid that he has so strong threats like queen h3. I was freaking out. Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So the final score, tons of draws. Tons of draws. I like to be nice. 14 wins, 10 draws, 2 losses. The games I lost are not at the top. Usually I thought it puts the losses at the top. That's weird. Leo I lost. I didn't like this position. But I was okay. I was more just frustrated. I thought I was worse here. But I was more just frustrated. The computer says I'm not worse, believe it or not. But I was more just frustrated with how fast he plays. And I was angry at myself after this ridiculous opening for missing this crazy move. King D2. But actually I played alright. I basically played alright, but later on I made a mistake trading queens there. And I was seriously worried I was worse now. But it's probably about equal. The other game where I lost was the rook drop, but I messed it up. I really messed it up. Where is it? Lots of interesting draws. Zinkelberger. Zinkelberger made one blunder and one inaccuracy. I want to see what I did. We've played this before. So he plays this move I've never seen before. Knight f4, which is very logical actually. Bishop f4, knight g5. Someone played bishop e3 against me, I think. There's this game, Fallujah versus Ding Liren. It's a draw. So I play the best move, and he plays novelty. Knight c6, and then best move for white, king f2. Here I had no clue what to do. Played this, it's like the third best move. Now he plays the best move. And now I had no idea, like my only plan is to play for f5. I have no idea. In a tournament game I might play differently. But I have no clue what to do here. You know, it's a complicated position. So I play king h8, bishop d2, f5, and then e5. And I don't know what to do. Again. He just walks away. And without g5, I wasn't sure what the heck I'm doing here. My d7 pawn is hanging. The whole position is weird. So I probably shouldn't have even gone into this. If I had known this doesn't work, I would have not played queen h4 check. And now I'm screwed. Like, I thought I had g4. The whole thing was based on this. I didn't see my rook is hanging. So I guess rook b8 would have been a good idea at some point. And I'm just lost. Alright, anyways, that was it. I'll see you guys later tomorrow. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for being our mod. Thanks, everybody, for watching, for supporting the stream. Thanks for the raid today from Tonatman. And I will see everybody tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. CET for maybe Morales' game 300. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.